In 2019, tensions between Hong Kong and China broke. According to the New York Times upfront, 1 million residents in Hong Kong partook in violent riots fighting for their freedoms. At the forefront was Hong Kong's youth. On June 9th, 2019, they led their country into a still ongoing war. There were two reasons why the residents started to revolutionize. The first reason was the introduction of the extradition bill. This bill would allow Hong Kong's criminals to be tried under Chinese law. This was a threat against their freedom of speech. And the second reason was the ever-growing poverty in Hong Kong. Minimum wage and the cost of living were highly unbalanced. China and Hong Kong operate as one country, two systems. The New York Times upfront says that Hong Kong has its own independent courts, while China's judicial system is controlled by the Communist Party. Past events caused tensions between Hong Kong and China, but the introduction of the extradition bill was the breaking point for Hong Kong. If the bill had been passed, that means Hong Kong's criminals could be transported to China, the mainland, to be tried under their communist law. Hong Kong lives in a westernized lifestyle, according to New York Times upfront, and this bill was threatening their freedom of speech. Political opponents against the Communist Party could be punished, and internet users, news outlets, and even journalists could have their speech censored. According to the New York Times upfront, Hong Kong's gap between rich and poor is among the largest in the world. In a city famous for its flashy millionaires, nearly 1 in 5 people live in poverty. It boasts the world's longest working hours, and rents are higher than in New York or San Francisco for apartments half the size. The New Statesman says Beijing's plan was to chip away at Hong Kong's autonomy, wanting them to either be okay with it or force them to move to China. The economy was failing and Hong Kong was not happy. Even if some people were not against the extradition bill, they were still willing to join in on the fight for a better quality of life. The Nyman report states that the protests started out peacefully but changed into violent riots on June 9th, 2019. Protesters threw Molotov cocktails, which are handmade bombs, at police, and police fired tear gas at the protesters. The Nyman reports also said, since protests began, police had fired more than 6,100 rounds of tear gas, more than 3,000 projectiles, and arrested more than 3,300 people between the ages of 12 and 83. According to The Economist, Alex Chow, a student, was the first to die after falling over a railing when running from tear gas. Students barricaded themselves inside the Hong Kong Polytechnic University from November 17th to November 29th, where they put up firewalls and made the most Molotov cocktails. On November 29th, the last protester at Polytechnic University was arrested and the riots stopped. Still to this day, people are protesting China and its communist rule. Although Hong Kong's residents might not be taking extreme violent measures anymore, they are still fighting for their freedoms. The riots in Hong Kong were just the beginning. This fight for their autonomy is far from over.